Kale. One of the wonderful things about kale is you plant it once and it just gives back all season long from the same plants. You don't have to keep replanting it. And just a few plants are gonna keep you in kale for the whole season, all the way into your first frost and beyond. I mean, you can harvest them with snow on them. And here we just have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, just a dozen plants. And for a family, it's gonna be more than enough to grow. To get them spaced out nicely, I recommend doing it from start. And then spacing them anywhere from 15 inches to 24 inches apart. The more spacing you get, the more air you're gonna get between them, and the bigger the leaves you're gonna get. They're usually pretty easy. Some of the problems you may get with them is aphids. There's an aphid that just pretty much, it's like a black one that attacks kale. If you do get that, the next season you wanna look at your soil. You know, the better soil you have, the less likely you're gonna get them. But if you wanna get rid of them, loads of ladybugs, spread it on there and then cover it with row cover and leave it on there for, you know, a good week to 2 weeks, and the ladybugs will eat them all. And that'll help a lot. And then whatever's remaining you can wash off as you harvest them. Another thing that happens is them getting yellow as the season goes on. And that's gonna, you know, probably nitrogen. So, you know, once a month at least, you wanna come through and trench it in between the plants and add a nice high nitrogen fertilizer like a chicken manure or soybean meal or something. One other thing is leaves getting eaten. And that could be cabbage moths, and it can also be flea beetles will eat this stuff, and cutworms will eat it. For the caterpillar type stuff, you can use BT, which will kill them. But I don't mind a few holes in my kale, so I don't really do much. The best thing you can do for that is great soil. It's going to be more resistant to it, and a few holes don't bother me, so I'm okay with it. And so the best way to harvest them so that they keep growing is just get your thumb in there right next to the base of the plant and then just twist the leaves off, right? And if there's any bad leaves near the bottom, you can just pull those off and throw them on the ground. And you can harvest the plant pretty high on there, and it will continue to regrow. Okay? Now you see, I'm not leaving much. Okay? You can leave just that, and it's going to be fine, and you get a nice bunch of kale. And this is true whether it's this type of kale or curly kale, it doesn't matter. They're all going to be harvested the same, where you just twist off the leaves, leave a little bit, and then you move on to the next plant a few days later. And then you'll come back around and it will regrow and it will look like you never even harvested it. And this will go all the way into winter. And then your final harvest can be just cutting the whole plant off and bringing that in and cooking it. Chard. So the different varieties of chard is really by color, right? So there's Fort Hork chard, which is really a light green, some a whitish stem to it. And then in the colors, they're, you know, red, yellow, orange, every type. And I love the colors, so I just get a mix of different colored chard, and then I like to start it in pots. So you can either do it in a tray or in pots, because you're only planting 2 rows on a 30-inch bed. So you don't need much. This is way more than we can eat. I mean, probably 6 plants would do a family pretty well. They grow readily, they grow fast. Once they get going, they're going to produce a lot of food. And it's just a wonderful crop. It tastes so good and very easy to cook, right? You know, it's just olive oil and sauteed and salt and pepper, and you're done. And yes, you can eat the stems. The stems are perfectly edible. They taste great. They just get pretty big as the plant gets bigger. So I like to start them in pots and then transplant them, and then I can get them the right distance, which is nice. And that would be 15 inches apart, which is 2 rows on a 30-inch bed. 15 inches that way, 15 inches this way. The problems that you can have with chard is they can get leaf spot. You know, they can get fungus problems on the leaves. And the way to solve that is really by having well-balanced soil. That could be a lack of copper or boron. You know, they just react very poorly to unbalanced soil. So that's about getting your soil right. And it's also about trying to not have them get wet. And I know that's incredibly difficult if you're growing them outside because it's going to rain. But if you're going to water, it's better just to water in the morning so the leaves dry off. And also to get, you know, you want to have airflow around them. So that means just harvesting regularly and keeping the weeds down. And so I'm going to show you how to harvest them so that you can have a continual crop in your garden all season long, right? Because you don't want to just cut them off. You want to get down in there, right? And the first thing you can do is get rid of like the shoots, right? Like these little side shoots. Those can go, right? And any small leaves near the bottom. And then what you do is you just get your thumb inside the leaf and you just peel the leaves off the plant. The side shoots, right? Right? And you can harvest it down all the way until it has just a few leaves on it. You see? So that plant just has those few leaves left, and it's going to be fine, and it's going to regrow. It's going to be nice and healthy. So if you do get any disease, you can just strip it down and have it regrow. Because sometimes those diseases happen early in the spring, and they go away as you head into the summer where it's hotter and drier. So you can just strip them down and let it grow again. Because usually those leaf diseases don't kill the plant. They just make the leaves look bad. So you can see that whole bunch I got from just one plant, right? And so you can harvest that one week, harvest the next plant the next week, and on and on. So you can figure out, you know, you don't need a lot of plants, right? That could be, you know, 2 days worth of chard. Depending if you're a big family like mine, it could be 1 day of chard.